I still remember the sound before anything else. Ice clinking glass, tipping a sharp inhale from someone nearby. Then the cold hit me. Water soaked through my jacket, ran down my chest, pooled at the edge of the table, and dripped onto the floor. For half a second, nobody said a word. Not the waiter standing there with the empty pitcher, not the couple at the next table pretending not to stare. Not even my kids. And then he laughed, not loud, just enough. "Oops," he said, smirking. "Some people really shouldn't be in places like this." That was the moment. Not when the water hit me, but when I realized he wanted it to. This was supposed to be a celebration. My daughter had just graduated. We picked a nice restaurant downtown, white tablecloths, low lighting, the kind of place where people speak softly and pretend manners mean character. My wife spent extra time getting ready. My son wore a tie he hated. I wore a simple suit, nothing flashy, nothing that screamed anything. Apparently that was the problem. From the moment we sat down, I felt it, the hesitation, the way our waiter's smile tightened when he saw us, the way his voice shifted. He spoke slower to us, louder, like we might miss something important. He forgot our menus, questioned our order, suggested cheaper options when I picked a bottle of wine. "You sure about that one?" he asked, eyebrows raised. "It's pricey." I smiled, "I'm sure." He nodded, but his eyes said something else, something familiar. My son leaned over at one point and whispered, "Dad, why is he being weird?" I put a hand on his shoulder. "Some people get uncomfortable when they don't understand something," I said. "That's on them, not us." The truth was, it stung, not in a dramatic way, more like a dull old ache. The kind you recognize because you felt it before. The kind that reminds you how quickly respect disappears when people think you don't belong. I didn't say anything. I watched. I watched how he laughed with the table next to us, how he explained the menu in detail to them, how he checked on their drinks every few minutes, then walked right past us like we were invisible. And I watched my daughter slowly shrink into herself, her night, her moment, quietly slipping away. That's when I knew this wasn't an accident. This was a choice. The final act came with dessert, or what was supposed to be dessert. He came over carrying a full pitcher of ice water. He stood just a little too close. His foot caught nothing at all, and the water poured straight onto me. Ice bounced off the table. Water splashed onto my wife's dress. My daughter gasped. My son froze. The waiter stepped back, raised his hands, fake concern plastered on his face. "These people shouldn't be allowed in places meant for real customers," he said, loud enough for half the room. "Some folks just don't understand proper etiquette." The room went dead silent. I stood up slowly, not because I was angry, but because sitting felt wrong. Water dripped from my sleeves. My jacket was ruined, but I felt calm, clear, almost relieved. I reached into my pocket and pulled out a card. Actually, I said, my voice steady, conversational. "My name is Marcus Reed." He barely looked at it. "I'm the owner of this restaurant," I continued, "and 26 others." That's when his face changed. Color drained. His mouth opened, then closed. The pitcher slipped slightly in his hand. "You're fired," I said, "effective immediately." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't have to. The manager rushed over, suddenly sweating, suddenly polite, tripping over apologies. I looked at him for a long second and said, "You watched this happen all night." He didn't deny it. I turned to my wife. "Take the kids, I'll be right behind you." Once they were gone, I made a few quiet calls, not dramatic ones, necessary ones, reviews, footage, documentation, accountability. And then I left. Outside, the air felt different, cooler, cleaner. My shoes echoed against the pavement as I walked away, the noise of the restaurant fading behind me. Here's the thing. People get wrong about moments like this. It's not about revenge. I didn't feel powerful standing there soaked and stared at. I felt responsible. Because if it could happen to my family in a place I owned, it was happening to others who didn't have the option to stand up. Money didn't protect us that night. It just revealed the truth faster. In the weeks that followed, changes were made. Not quietly, not conveniently. Policies rewritten, people held accountable, systems fixed that should have never been broken. But that night stays with me. The look on my daughter's face, the question in my son's eyes, the silence in that room. Because dignity shouldn't depend on what you wear, what you order, or what people think you can afford. And respect. That's not something you deserve more when you're rich. It's something everyone deserves, period. So I'll ask you this. Do you think money really changes how people treat you? Or does it just expose who they've been all along? Let me know what you think in the comments.